on, everybody? Welcome to episode 44 of our Watford career. Okay. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 44 and the start of a new season here on our Watford career mode. And today we're going to take a look through the squad and we're going to do some transfers as well. And then, just get everything set up before we jump into the new season. We've got a bit of money to spend. I believe last episode we showed it off. I've actually forgotten how much, but it is an absurd amount of money. But we're also getting some different things coming in. I've got some players on the transfer hub I can show you in just a moment. As you can see, 174 million pounds to spend. We didn't spend any money last year, so I mean, it's just one of those things where we have the money to spend. We've got some places where we can upgrade. We've got some players who are going to leave, we think. So a lot to deal with there. This is our preseason tournament. We've got Monaco, Leverkusen, and Leipzig in our group, and then the other group is Lyon, Sevilla, Napoli, Lazio. Whether we get to the end, or we'll have to see. But we're also going to do one thing before we start, and that's the youth staff. Somebody on our inter-career mode wanted us to do one in Venezuela and Slovakia. We are going to do them on this one, mainly because that one may be short-term. So it's, it's one of those things where just going to bring it over here with no actual issues. We're going to set them up right there. We got one more. We'll set it up in England. We are English, so we might as well set it up in England. So there we go. Scouting networks are set and ready to go for the new season. And that is setting it up. So let's take a look at the squad here. We were looking to bring in possibly a Cam. Pereira will be leaving soon, I believe, whether he leaves this year or not. Dini we did bring back. We found a way to get that going. I guess he was on the way out and just couldn't get the contract going, but eventually he just came back and he is back. We may move on Cabaselli and bring in a really good center back. He is the oldest of the group. He is 30, and we've got some good youngsters in Badiashile and Ager. So Cabaselli may be the one to go there. Dest is the current right back. Heinrichs, of course, still injured, though pretty good. And we were thinking about bringing in another wing back, because Dest can play both sides, and I was like the idea of having 5, 2 on each side, and then just in case of an injury like we had with long term with Heinrichs, then we wouldn't be stuck rotating in the middle of the year, because we have Messina, and we'd like probably another player on any of those sides here. Estupinan is back from loan, but he is probably going to be leaving. We've got some young wingers here, Ortiz or Bai. Probably one of those two are probably going to be leaving on loan. I haven't completely decided on that yet. And then Will Hughes is also leaving. So we've got a lot to go through, and we'll see what really happens there in the end. I've thought about a couple more midfielders as well to replace that departure in Will Hughes. Emre Can is still on the list. He's over at Hoffenheim. Samari at Lille, and then Vendel at Fiorentina. And then we've thought about some other players. Right back, someone who can play right back is probably where we're also going. Excuse my cat, he's being an absolute pain to now. Reece James at Toulouse, Max Aarons. Reece James can also play in midfield. And then Jadon Bogle. That way Des can play on both sides if need be. And then we were looking at center backs as well. We're thinking about bringing in a really good center back. Because we, as we said, have the money. I'm leaning Joe Gomez's way. Someone who can also play right back if need be. Only 24. but playing at a club maybe not necessarily at the top level. After he left Liverpool, Rugani's there now, and Jonathan Tah's at Munich. Farrow would also be a good signing. We shall see. And then I've thought about a couple of positions, bringing in another winger. Neres is probably a little bit off, but someone to bring in to play on the left and nurture behind De La Feu. And De La Feu is 27, so eventually that'll really be an issue. Kluivert and Harrison and Harvey Barnes are, I said Harrison, and Harvey Barnes are the two I'm leaning toward. I'm actually leaning toward Harvey Barnes at the moment. Another player like Pereira or De La Feu can play on the left and through the middle. We'll have to see. And then bringing in another striker to help compete. Up front, we got Dembele here's on the list. Divock Origi, he's moved to Brighton. Patrick Cutrone, who's actually just left in real life. I believe he's moved back to Italy after leaving Wolves. He was upset of not playing enough. It's difficult to get in front of Raul Jimenez at the moment. And then Moise Kean, who's still at Everton, 21. That's probably my choice. I'd probably go Kean, Cutrone, and then Dembele, and then Origi. Origi is probably last ditch because he's 26 already. You're not going to grow a ton. And then a Cam, which would be, you know, another option we're looking at to bring in. Gullivan there. Ikone, who's at Lille. Jack Grealish is someone I do want to bring in. Regardless of if he's the starter at Cam, is someone I just really want to bring into the club, actually. 25 already. And then Jonathan David, who can play anywhere along the front, really. Cam or striker. Center forwards obviously his position, but he can play any of those too. So we've got a lot to look at here, a lot to get through. This isn't all going to happen in one go. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go right back first, and Max Aarons is probably where I'm leaning, and then Reece James, and then Bogle. We're going to try for Max Aarons. As you can see, 11 and 14 million in between, 13 and 17 for Reece James, and then Bogle is 6 and 10. We're going to go for Max Aarons first and see if we can bring in that option there. So we'll have 2 right backs, 2 left backs, and then one who can play on both sides, which will give us plenty of cover going forward. Let's offer a transfer fee. We'll start at 10 and see where they want to be. They want 13 with a 20% sell-on clause. That is a bit odd. Remove the sell-on clause and we'll submit at 13 and see what they say. Now they want 14 and 0.1. Propose new transfer fee. We'll see if we can get them to 13.4-ish. And they're comfortable with that. 13.4 million is not too bad for someone on that side. And this is a bit annoying because Dest is a properly good player, and he is still going to get his games. It's just imperative that we have the ability to have it on both sides. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can crucial, rotation, important. I'm going to go rotation, see if he's okay with that. No, he wants to be important. That's okay. We'll roll with it for now. He may eventually get better than Heinrichs is at the moment. And, you know, it is one of those things where it's just going to happen. Players are going to get a little bit better. And just is what it is. Wasn't what he was hoping for, but he's going to take the 30,000 a week and move the bonus. So that is a good start. Let's jump over here and see where that leaves us. So Max Aarons can jump in right now ahead of Dest, most likely. What I think we're going to do with Dest is he's going to be the backup at left back ahead of Messina. And Messina would be the third option, I think is how we're going to go about it. Reguilon, Reguilon and Heinrichs the starters, and then Max Aarons and Dest the backups. And then, you know, Messina the third option, and if it need be, Dest can always move over to right back, and it's just going to be one of those things. Actually, you know what we may do? Contract expiring in 12 months. We may move Messina on. Someone who doesn't play a ton. We're going to add him to the transfer list and add him to the transfer list and see what comes back in terms of bids and things. But those two either can go. Messina doesn't play super well. He's the better player. But if we can get a little bit of money, you know, why not move Messina on and have our, you know, our third option, you know, be the cheaper, younger player kind of thing. And we do lose this game here. Is that Gabriel Jesus up front there with Aspas? Richarlison's on that team. Diaby as well. Bernadeschi's on that team. Yeah, that's they have definitely changed just a little bit. They beat us 2-0 though. And forward we go. So let's get some training on. Just gonna make sure this video doesn't end up being like 45 minutes. We can add some to the next video, of course, if need be. Because this series is still here for the long haul. This looks like a 4 or 5 season type of series instead. I'm also gonna have a video coming out about what's gonna happen once this ends, or maybe before this ends actually. Let's get a sim here on the Leipzig game. This will be another tough one. We may be out of contention already, and we do lose 1-0. No injuries, which is important. Not too worried about this, of course. But here we are, and we are out of contention, which is a bit of a shame. So let's go ahead and sim this Monaco game. It's a tough group, a really tough group. Offer has come in for Rui, which is no. Bournemouth can go away and move on back. And we haven't had any bids yet for any of the players we're looking to move on. And it's just going to happen. Let's take a look at the squad hub. Make sure everybody we want to move on is on the list. These are young goalkeepers. Dahlberg can go. He's, you know, he hasn't been too bad, but we've got a starter here, and we've got some young players who can come through. But he hasn't turned into that bad of a player. In midfield, we have Benitez, Grujic, Decore, Fernandez, McKennie. Delabashiru is another player who just didn't grow, did he? Hughes, he does need to go onto the transfer list. Suarez is still removed from, yeah, we'll remove him from the loan list. Or not, I guess. He'll just stay on the loan list. I'm not sure what's going on there. Danny Welbeck will keep around. Dini we're also going to never get rid of. So there are some players still to go. Ortiz and Bai. It's going to be tough. Tough to see what we do with those two. We'll check out the player development in just a moment, because I'd like to develop both of them plus Benitez as well. But, you know, how important or how much time can we give to all three of them in the training thing? We'll have to see. We got Betty Ashile here. Previous segment by Ortiz. They're all in here. I guess we'll just roll with the way that is. I've got no problem with that at the moment. We're gonna get Benitez going forward a little bit better. He's also gonna get a little bit more game time here. Hughes, let's see what he says. I'm glad you've taken the steps without me asking. Transfer offer has come in for Messina, 6.3 million. We can get to 7.4. We delegate here. We'll start at 8.3. That's not too bad for someone who's going to be our third string option. Probably won't get that money for the other man there. So, you know, that's not too bad. Transfer offer for Messina again. Sampdoria offered 6.9. We're going to delegate this one as well. We'll start this one at 9 because it's a little bit closer. Decore for Tottenham, 40 million. No, thank you. Decore goes nowhere. Though in real life, they may have a tough time keeping him around. If a bid like that came in for him, it would definitely be tough. Okay, and an offer comes in for him as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to reject this, because this doesn't look like it's going to be too huge of an issue. So what I may do, or we're not going to get too huge of a bid is what I meant to say. So we may just offer him a new contract right now. Take him off the transfer list. Contract negotiation. Bring him in and keep him as the, you know, emergency option at wingback. He may not play very often, but he is probably going to be the emergency option Length of contract, get 4 years in there. Probably won't be around that long, depending on what happens. But if he's comfortable with that, it just is what it is. He's currently on 13,000. Give him 20. $100,000 signing bonus. He wants 25. Ooh, he's kind of want a little bit more than I would have liked to give, actually. He wants 27. 27 is kind of a lot, but it's difficult to find someone who's willing to just sit around on the bench. So let's go to our transfer hub here, and we've done this. We've done right back, so we'll remove you from the short list. Remove Bogle from the short list. That's okay. And now, where do we go? Suarez, I can't seem to get off there. We'll go to Cam here because I'm trying to figure out where I want to go with Cam. 31 to 40 million for Golovin, 30 to 37 for Ikone. Jonathan David is the cheapest option. Outside Grealish, but I think I just want to bring Grealish into the club just for the sake of it. We're going to go with Jonathan David. He's going to be the cheapest option, and he can play a variety of positions here. Let's bring him in. Hopefully we can bring him in. Offer a transfer fee. We'll do 21 million. See what they say. 26 and a sell-on clause of 15. Just remove the sell-on clause. 26 would be okay. They're comfortable with 26. Comfortable with 26 million. Negotiate, Jonathan David. Come into the club, my son. Get ourselves some more striking options in here. He only wants rotation as well. That I am very, very cool with. Let's go with 5 years. Can we be 5 years? He's happy with that. Alright, Jonathan David. No release clause. What do you want for wage? Nobody ever knows what they want to do for wage. Let's do 30,000. He wants 42. Counter. Remove bonus. 45. That's alright. Come into the club, man. We got ourselves some striking options up front now. So let's take a look. Hernandez is going to have a proper backup. And Welbeck will still be around. Welbeck will not be going anywhere, which is obviously where we want to be. But he'll be moving further down the list. Deeney is still going to be around. Don't worry, he's not going anywhere, and he's not too fussed about the playing time he got last year, which was very little in the end. Physically, it's just having a hard time finding spots for him. So, you know, we'll see. A transfer offer comes in for Hernandez. No. 50 million from Everton for Ismail Sarr. That is a lot. Alright, we'll hold off on... Alright, so you're not going anywhere. Liverpool have offered 35 million for him. Ismail Sarr, 50 million. No. Messina. He's still negotiating with Sampdoria, so we'll come back to that in a moment. And we have a player chat in here. What are we looking at? Hughes. And doesn't want to be a bench warmer, though he was cool with sporadic. Nobody wants you to warm the bench. Don't make me regret it. Alright. Well, forward we go. So we've bought in our striking option. The midfield option will only come in if Hughes leaves. We still have 134 million to spend there. We bought Jonathan David in to play that cam spot. So we can probably get rid of Golovin. And we can get rid of Ikone. And we're still... So, striking wise, I know they said striking option last time, but he's more of a cam kind of guy to me. So we still have striking options. We've got left wing options, center back options. We have got some options to come in here. How come he's not scouted? That's weird. We're just gonna get rid of that. I don't understand why he's not scouted. But we're gonna go forward a little bit. I don't want to bring in anybody yet until we move a player on. in those positions. Let's see if we can get anything. Offer rescinded about Australia. Transfer offer for Delabashiru for an American offer. We're going to accept that. 1.1. It's a decent offer. He's still discussing with Sampdoria, so we're not going to go ahead and accept the other one just yet, but I would like that to come a little bit quicker. Sampdoria. So let's go to the transfer hub. I believe Sampdoria have the best option there. 7.5 and 6.8. So we'll reject Sevilla's option and accept Sampdoria's option. 7.5 for a player who wasn't really going to play too much. Pretty decent business, I think. I've got no issues with that. There's going to be a lot of squad turnover this season, I think. We'll see what happens as well with Pereira. I worry. They've been approached by... Transfer offer comes in for Hughes. Delabashiru sold. Kabasele I haven't even put on the block. He's worth 19 million. They've offered 13. Delegate the offer. Do we just go in for Gomez? I don't think I've even put Kabasele on the block. I think I'm just going to go in for Joe Gomez here. I'm just going to go in for him, I think. We got to remember to put... what's his name on the block? Kabasele. Just to swap this out. Offer transfer fee. We'll try 30. I'm comfortable playing a bit of money here for Joe Gomez. 33 million they're comfortable with. I'm comfortable with 33 million. You'd go for more than 33 in real life, I think. And negotiate good old Joe. Bring him into the club. This would be a good signing. A really good signing. He always leaves Liverpool in game, which is weird to me. But he always does, and he always ends up at Wolves, it seems. Important, 5 years. He's comfortable with that. No release clause. And he only wants 50,000 a week. I'm just gonna remove the bonus though. It's a heavy bonus, but he's on 72 now. 56,000 a week. Come into the club, my man Joe. And Joe Gomez is in, and we've gotten our center back in. Let's go to the squad hub really quick and move Kabasele out, because Kabasele is the one who's just gonna leave. It's a bit harsh, but as you can see, his contract's expiring. He's 30 already. It's just the best option to, to swap in and out when it comes to center back. It's just the best. It's unfortunate for him, but it is the best option, I feel. And it's just gonna have to be that way. We've got two good players here at goalkeeper. Let's go forward and see if we can move one of them out on loan. And see if one can get a little bit of game time. I'm just going to add both of them to the loan list and see what we can do. We're going to go check on Luis Suarez because he's just only on the loan list again. And I don't know what the issue is there. Remove from loan list. What if I block offers? Allow offers. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on here with him. He won't remove from the loan list. Okay, well that's just bloody typical, isn't it? But we are in a good spot, so let's go take a look at the club here. I'm comfortable with Barco starting if we're gonna bring in, or Mkana can start too. So we've got a couple of players who can play in that spot. Pereira, we're probably going to move on. He is 30. It is a harsh world we're living in here. So I'm comfortable swapping him for Grealish. I am. But you know what, we'll think about it. We'll give it a think, and then next episode we'll go ahead and see what we can do in that sort of position, guys. But that is going to be the end of this episode. Hopefully next episode we might get into a game. We'll see. Calendar. August is coming. Our first game of the year is Brighton. A lot of blue to start. Brighton, Chelsea, Everton, Crystal Palace. We have a good start to the season here. October's difficult. We have City, December. Look, December is difficult. Southampton, and then we got Liverpool, Manchester United, Stoke, and then Leicester, Stoke again, and then Manchester United again. I hate how they flop them so quickly. But that is what it is. So an easier start to the season than we had last year when we had all the big clubs come around. But we just got to take advantage of it this time. So we'll see what happens, guys. But that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you folks have enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. And peace.